Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment is what I do. Mantles. Apparently, there are some people who still do not understand what a mantle is and how a mantle relates to a character and how a mantle relates to an actor. Okay? I don't know if I've did a video on this before, but I'm gonna do it just because I'm out here, got the light on, the camera's on, so I'm gonna do a video. Plus, it's Monday, and I need to do a video, so I'm going to do a video. But before I do a video, I need you guys, you people, you wonderful individuals that PHUCK with DREAL. Okay. Hey. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. This here. All right. Looking at my Black Panther watch, it's about that time. So let me sip a little water and clear the palate and whatnot. And we're going to get into it. All right. The best way to get into this is probably breaking it down to the most simplistic level I can. So let's look up mantle first. Oi, looky here. Here is the definition of the word
mantle.
Say that again one more time, weird squiggly speaker voice.
Mantle.
Okay. What's a mantle? It's a noun. It's a responsibility. It's a thing. Okay. The responsibilities of an important position or job, especially as given from the person who had the job to the person who replaces them. Okay. So right away, based on the definition of the word mantle, that means somebody has to be gone. That position, that job, that responsibility has to be vacant for them to take over. Now, is we talking about, I know I said is we, but I felt like saying is we. I'm going to say it again. Is we talking about actors or characters? Okay, I'm going to give you the best example I know of. You could probably find better ones, but this is me, and this is where my head is at. And I'm old school, so I'm gonna throw one at you that you may not necessarily be expecting or ready for, unless you too are an OG. Yep, right there, that fella there. That is the Phantom. Okay, do we know about the Phantom, the ghost who walks, the man who will not die? Do we know about the Phantom? Outside of the 1990-something movie that featured Billy Zane in the title role. Again, don't get all your information from movies. Okay, it's been a comic strip longer than Superman's been around. Or as long, I want to. Well, you know what? We're sitting right here. Boom. 17th of February, 1936, in the newspapers. So Lee Falk did the Phantom. Look at all of this cool stuff. We got the, well, Let me tell you about the 21st Phantom. The 21st Phantom is the only Phantom anybody cares about, because we've heard about Christopher Walker, his ancestor, who started the Phantom lineage over 400 years ago. Well, longer than that now, but you get the point. The only Phantom we see with any consistency is Kit Walker, the 21st Phantom. Now, there have been cartoons about Phantom 2049. It didn't last very long, did it? My point being, regardless of the fact if something is a mantle, isn't Zorro a mantle? But we only talk about Don Diego Vega. You see what I'm saying? It could be a bunch of them. Have many people worn the cowl of Batman? Replace him, stand in for him, whatever you want to say. From Dick Grayson to Jean-Paul Valley. You know what I'm saying? People have been Batman. But it always comes back to who? Bruce Wayne. Right? Right? So why is it, well, first of all, Twitter's an ugly ass place to be. And if you on Twitter and you caping for something that ain't nobody else caping for, my hat's off to you, because people can be some mean, insensitive a-holes when it comes to Twitter. So shouts out to folks like my man Buckmeister, who are on Twitter holding it down for the Recast T'Challa movement. And F you guys that just can't deal with the fact that it's still around and people are still talking about it and it gets on your nerves. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about mantles. Okay, so let's go back to that definition again. The responsibilities of an important position or job, especially is given from the person who had the job to the person who replaces them. Let's talk. Courtesy of the people at Reddit. This is one of my favorite ones. T'Challa and Shuri. Is this a mantle? Yes, the Black Panther is indeed a hereditary mantle. Shuri did indeed temporarily in the comics succeed T'Challa for a while as the Regent, not permanently taking over as Black Panther. Again, same kind of thing when we keep talking about mantles and talking about Spider-Man and Peter Parker, oh, Ben Reilly, oh, Kane, oh, Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? That ain't a mantle, but Peter Parker was gone or retired at one point, and these other guys were standing in for him, holding down the mantle of Spider-Man. Okay, so what are we talking about here when we're talking about mantles cinematically? The mantle of James Bond, for instance. James Bond itself is not a mantle. That's a single person who has been portrayed by multiple actors. That is a recast. Has nothing to do with a mantle. Has nothing to do, I mean, technically it's a mantle, but we don't call it that. It is definitely the job being handed off to another person. So I guess in a way it is kind of a mantle, but not in the same way that a mantle in comics is. Because number one, comic book characters don't age the same way people do in real life. Because if that's the case, Peter Parker should be in his 60s right now. So, but who wants to see a 60-year-old man with a dad bod swinging around New York? Nobody. Mayday Parker stepped into the mantle. Different continuity of Bleak, but you get what I'm saying about mantles. As far as actors go, James Bond, you know what? Let me just show you. James Bond. Let's talk about James Bond. Okay. You are looking at 6 different actors who have played the role of James Bond. With an actor, it's different than a comic book character. The necessity for that character to continue being seen on the screen and having their story told and seeing their adventures constitutes the recasting of the role. Okay, but when we do things like have our little conspiracy theories and play these little games, because in all honesty, the man who was playing the role in Black Panther had more to do with making the movie successful than the directors or producers did. He's the one that came up with them speaking in Swahili and Hausa. You know, Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler wanted them to speak with British accents. WTF, yo. But this is what I'm getting at here. The time between actors, that's not important. The desire or the need for this character to be seen, if there's an outcry, if people are asking questions. James Bond was first portrayed by Sean Connery. From Sean Connery, that guy right there, we went to this guy right here. He did such a horrible job playing a James Bond that we went back to the old dude again, was like, fuck this. If that's what we get for James Bond, we'll go back to the old guy. Fortunately, this fella came along, Roger Moore, and carried James Bond through the 70s and the early 80s. He was in turn replaced by that guy, Timothy Dalton. You see what I'm getting at? You see what I'm getting at? Okay. The transition between Sean Connery and George Lazenby was nothing. And back to Sean Connery, nothing. Handed off to Roger Moore. And he ran with it from the 70s to the early 80s. About 85, I believe. I think View to a Kill was his last James Bond flick. Then we got this man right here in The Living Daylights and License to Kill. Then we got that guy who came right in. It wasn't, I don't even think it was that 5 years. People always say like 5, 6 years got to go by before they even replace him. No, it don't. It depends on the demand to see that character and nothing more. You think I'm lying? Look at these Batman. Now, I know what you're saying. From Adam West, from 66 to 69, we didn't get another Batman until 1989. Now, he portrayed Batman twice, in 89 and 92. And in 94, what do we have? Val Kilmer's ass with nipples, but didn't nobody say nothing about his nipples. Okay, we got Val Kilmer, right? Wasn't no big break in time between Val Kilmer and Michael Keaton. And then from Val Kilmer, we went to George Clooney a couple years later. It wasn't 5 years. So what's all that talk? And then we had a lull of about what? 6, 7? Maybe 7, 6, 7 years between Clooney and Bale. Wasn't 10 years. We didn't have to wait 10 years between Clooney and Bale. Wait a minute. Don't get me the line. I want to be 150% accurate. Okay, we talking about Batman Begins in 2005. Okay, when was Batman and Robin? 97? Batman Begins 2005. Batman and Robin 97. Not 10 years. So for people to be saying that shit it's asinine. Okay, you can't sit here and say, "Oh, I just need to wait at least 10 years." Why do we need to wait 10 years for another Black Panther when we didn't get him until 50? Meanwhile, we've been having Batman shit since the 60s. I could go on and on, y'all. Okay. In summary, a mantle is a job or responsibility being taken over by someone else. And the person taking over is replacing the person they stepping in for. They ain't just standing in. That's what a mantle is. So actor-wise, it's a necessity. We just not gonna have no more James Bond because Sean Connery was too iconic. We're not gonna have no more Batman because Adam West was too iconic. Michael Keaton was too iconic. Hell no. So are we saying either one or two things are happening when it comes to T'Challa, the Black Panther, and all of this? One, the demand ain't as high as we think it is as fans, or some people are afraid of seeing a powerful Black man in a lead role in a movie making white guys look stupid. Because that's what he usually does in the comics, is make folks look stupid because they underestimate him and they don't know the level of technology he has. But now when mugs know about Wakanda, they put some respect on T'Challa's name. Not so much in Hollywood. I guess they feel like, well, let's go ahead and run with this idea we have to replace him with his son because it's a mantle. Okay. I got you. As long as you understand what a mantle is. You understand what a mantle is. Okay? A mantle is what everybody thinks it is, what everybody says it is. But just because someone is a mantle, someone is a legacy character, it does not mean they need to be permanently replaced, because the character who originated the franchise is usually the one who is the most popular in the role. We don't have Moneypenny taking over as a 007. We did in the newer version, but as a rule, moreover, nah. M is not a 007 actively. Q is not a 007 actively. The active 007 that everybody wants to see is the guy who likes his vodka martini shaken, not stirred. We done had a crap ton of Batmen, but ain't no whole bunch of people talking about, I like Dick Grayson as Batman better. Dick Grayson should be Batman. Jean-Paul Valley should be Batman. Carrie Kelly should be Batman. Barbara Gordon should be Batman. But we always come back to Bruce. Rhodey should be Iron Man. Pepper should be Iron Man. Happy should be Iron Man. And in the comics, they all have been. But we always come back to Tony. And even when you don't get rid of the person that replaced them, they just coexist. Jane Foster and Thor Odinson. Miles Morales and Peter Parker. I mean, I don't understand how people need this to be told to them. Why don't y'all get it? A mantle is a mantle is a mantle is a mantle, but it will never supersede or replace the character who originated the mantle in the first damn place. Unless your name is Marvell. Period. Stop the cap. Also, too, Twitter's an ugly ass place. And you trying to kick logic on Twitter, to me, unless you got cold, hard, concrete facts that can't nobody argue, you always going to get somebody coming in, getting in your face and saying some dumb shit or telling you that you're stupid or whatever. To all you people that tell folks in the Recast the Child movement they need to get over it, no, you need to get over telling people to get over it. Because they tired of hearing you saying get over it, because it's painfully obvious for people like Buckmeister that we're not going to get over it. So you wasting your breath talking. You wasting your breath telling people stuff. Stop telling people stuff and trying to precipitate, arguments. I mean, if somebody's stupid and don't know what they talking about and you want to check them on some stuff, that's one thing. But to tell somebody, okay, I don't like what you're saying, so I want you to stop saying. What you're saying makes no sense to me, so I want you to stop saying. Fuck out of here. Can I say that to you? What you saying don't make no sense, and I would be very happy if you would stop saying it. I'm done. I think I have said enough. If y'all got a problem, if y'all want to drop a comment, y'all know where to do it at. That's it for now. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.